In the construction industry, there is a physical limit to how hard a person can work. At some point, the daily grind of manual labor, hauling material through dirt and heat, stops building a career and simply breaks down the body. But there is a different path, one where you aren't carrying the load yourself, but standing clean and confident on a thriving site, managing the entire vision as a superintendent. For many minority tradespeople, the gap between these two worlds feels impossible to bridge. Hard work alone often leads to a dead end of low pay and physical burnout, boxed in by systemic industry barriers that restrict who gets to lead and who stays on the shovel. Desmond Collins hit this ceiling firsthand. After his release from prison, he spent years mastering carpentry, earning certifications and leading crews. Yet he found an invisible, immovable barrier when he tried to move into higher management. He realized that survival in this trade demands a complete break from the employee perspective. To move forward, you have to cross the ownership threshold, shifting from the person executing the labor to the master builder who owns and controls the business. The first step toward ownership isn't financial, it's a reclamation of your own history. For decades, the achievements of Black master builders were minimized, but the record shows that architectural and entrepreneurial skill is already part of your lineage. Take Horace King. Born into slavery in 1807, he moved from an enslaved laborer into a highly respected master bridge builder who engineered and designed his own massive infrastructure projects across the American South. In the 1920s, Frederick Messiah faced intense discrimination from banks and unions. He responded by pioneering advanced reinforced concrete engineering, using high-tensile steel to construct complex structures that traditional methods couldn't match. That same ingenuity appeared on a massive scale during World War II. Over 3,000 Black soldiers in segregated regiments battled sub-zero temperatures to construct the 1,600-mile Alaska Highway, executing complex engineering feats through North America's most unforgiving terrain. These figures demonstrate that the Black builder has always possessed the capacity to not just execute labor, but to engineer, manage, and own the infrastructure of the country. Turning that historical inspiration into a modern reality requires a documented map. Today, crossing the ownership threshold means treating your business infrastructure with the same precision you apply to a physical project. Collins outlines the requirements for industry legitimacy. You must secure state contractor licenses, pass the rigorous trade exams, and write an actionable business plan before you ever solicit a client. Herman J. Russell is the model for this transition. He began with a teenage shoe shine stand and a single rented property, eventually scaling those early business lessons into a $178 million construction conglomerate. By running an exceptionally well-managed firm, Russell's company commanded projects of immense complexity. When Atlanta needed to execute massive expansions to the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, they partnered with Russell because his corporate infrastructure was built for that scale. Russell built his conglomerate by prioritizing the purchase of real estate and the control of physical resources, rather than simply trading his hours for a paycheck. Working on the business through planning, licensing, and asset control is the exact mechanism that scales a local tradesman into a commercial force. Even with a license and a plan, many new contractors fail because they fall into a pricing trap. They win contracts and complete the work, but find they haven't actually made a profit because they severely underpriced their bids. You have to fiercely guard your time. This means refusing to provide detailed, free estimates to unqualified leads. Unless a client is willing to pay a consultation fee or a deposit, you do not spend days building their material lists. This is the formula for a profitable bid. Base, raw material costs. Add a mandatory 15% markup. Then calculate overheads like liability insurance, workers' compensation, and contractor bonds. Only when these are factored in do you see your true break-even point. Many beginners make the mistake of copying their competitors' pricing. This is a dangerous model. You must build an independent bid based entirely on your own internal costs and labor requirements. Mathematically protecting your margins is the only way a contractor can absorb unforeseen project disasters and ensure long-term generational stability. We return to the image of the superintendent with the blueprints. At this level, an owner's true responsibility isn't the physical labor. Your role is leveraging expertise to manage resources, schedule workflows, and secure skilled talent. Collins emphasizes that a successful contractor must build a loyal company culture. You achieve this by training your teams and consistently promoting top talent directly from within your own ranks. This principle scales beyond a single company. Leaders like Abdur Rahim Hamid founded the National Black Contractors Association so that minority firms could pool their resources and fight socioeconomic disenfranchisement on a national level. When minority contractors operate at this peak level of ownership, they move beyond local residential repairs. They are the ones who design and build the most significant cultural and national monuments of our era. You do not need permission to succeed in this industry. By combining the pride of an ancient legacy with strict business mechanics, you can finally step into ownership and build